Senna.
Power of many.
True story. I ran to a char the other day, and I was like, look, Ryan George liked my post on
yeah,
Insta.
that's right. He did like your post.
That's a true.
That's a true.
So we are watching the Acolyte pitch meeting from Pitch Meeting, the YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed there already, do so please. Okay, here we go, Acolyte pitch meeting. Amazing show.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Apparently, it's actually still getting ratings, though.
What does that mean?
It's actually doing pretty well in terms of ratings. Still.
Because they can't believe it. Here we go.
So, you got some new Star Wars content for
Nice
me?
shirt.
Yes, sir, I do. And in this one, we're going to be following OSHA. Amazing. Occupational safety is very important. Right, but also that's her name, and she's going to be falsely accused of a crime. What's the crime? Well, her sister May's going to have this big old fight against a Jedi named Indara, who I figure we could get Carrie-Anne Moss to play. Trinity? Oh boy, that'll be a big draw for the show. So what does she do? Die immediately. Okay, well, I'm still going to pretend like she's a main character when we promote the show. Sounds like a good idea. So since May and OSHA look exactly alike and everybody thinks May is dead, OSHA gets blamed. Was she nearby? Not even a little bit. She was off putting out space fires, but a bartender saw her, so. Space fires? Fires in space, that's right. So she gets arrested and put on a prisoner ship piloted by robots. They think she killed a Jedi, so they put her on an unmanned ship. That's what we're going with. So this ship ends up crashing, and then she reunites with her old Jedi master, Soul. Okay. And she explains to him, like, hey, I think my sister might be alive, but he's like, no, I watched her die. Yeah, sounds like there's some history between these two. Oh, there sure is, sir. That's the whole basis of the show, but to explain that, we're gonna have to go back 16 years. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, no, don't worry, I'll just tell you what happened. Okay, yeah, that's better for me. So OSHA and May were raised by a bunch of space witches, and May wants to become a space witch, but OSHA doesn't really wanna. There are career paths other than space witch, sure. So then they're having this big ceremony to become space witches, and they do this little chant. A chant? Yeah, they're like, the power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
When he started saying it, it sounded a little bit like the Count in Sesame Street. It's like, can they not count past two? It's just 1, 2, and then many. It's fine.
I feel like his face, the expression he had perfectly embodied what we all most of us collectively felt watching that episode. That moment specifically in the episode, because it was just like, why? And like, it hurt. That's all. I call that soul chipping. Like, it just chips away at your soul.
Like the character.
Oh, ha
ha. I made it funny.
So anyway, then Soul and some other Jedi show up, and they maybe want to train these kids to become Jedi because they have a high M count. M count? You mean midichlorians? Well, yes, but people made fun of that, so now I'm scared to say it out loud. Fair enough. So they do some tests on these girls, but then this Padawan really wants to go home, so he rushes back to the temple confrontationally. That's his motivation. He wants to leave ASAP. He doesn't like the food he's currently eating, so he risks and ruins everything. Understandable, I guess. So what happens? Well, the Mother Witch turns into a big scary smoke monster, so Soul kills her with a lightsaber. Close one. Actually, no, he shouldn't have, because she's like, I was gonna let OSHA go become a Jedi. She probably shouldn't have changed into a scary monster then. Yeah, well, there's no miscommunication in this show, then there is no show. Oh, interesting storytelling technique. So then all the witches get together and possess this wood.
That perfectly embodies every issue with the show, actually. It's just like, I mean, it's normal in a show or a movie for characters to not say everything and there to be misunderstandings, and that being a device that kind of moves the plot forward a little bit. But it's like, that's the whole show. He like said it right there. That is everything.
Yeah. Yes. Like, it pretty much is that. And also the fact that they just don't show relationships. They don't show too much backstory or whatever. And the fact that they just keep stretching out the thing when it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened? I will tell you. But not this episode.
In the next episode.
But when Trinity breaks that possession, all the witches die. Why? Because I need all the witches to die. That works. And also May is mad that OSHA didn't want to become a space witch, so she starts a little fire and locks all the doors. Sounds like an OSHA violation for sure. Yeah, and this place is made of stone, so the fire spreads quickly. What? And then Soul finds himself in the situation where each sister is standing on a collapsing platform, and his force lift isn't strong enough for both platforms, so he just saves OSHA. Why not force lift the girls instead of the platforms they're on.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yes. I just thought that he wasn't very good at doing stuff with the Force because he couldn't open a freaking door or shut the door or hold the door, whatever it is he was supposed to do with the door.
Damn, that kind of broke me a little bit. That's one of those things that I don't really think about until someone like Ryan George or Honest Trailers.
Yeah.
Like, until one of them says it, I don't really notice that. And they say it, I'm like, oh, now I can't unsee that.
Hey, shut up. And so that crazy night sets the stage for this whole story. Wow, well, that's going to be a pretty intense show intro for sure. Oh, no, what I just described as a mystery spread out over multiple episodes. Stretching things out is tight. Paradoxically, yes. So then what happens? Well, because of that night, 16 years later, May is killing the Jedi involved with that, and she's working with this guy, Kymir. Okay. And also there seems to be a Sith lurking around, but we don't know who he is. Is it Kymir? I mean, who else would it be? Yeah, that's a good point. I'm still gonna drop it as a big reveal several episodes in, okay? Sure, sounds good. So this guy really wants May to kill a Jedi without using a weapon. How come? He thinks that would be a pretty cool little dark side challenge. That does sound pretty cool. Then one day he goes nuts and kills practically all the Jedi that Osha was rolling with. Oh my god. And in all that chaos, Osha and May switch places. Oh, they do? Yeah, and it looks like May is gonna stab Sol, but then she doesn't. Why not? Yeah, because she doesn't want it anymore, you know? Who's to say why characters do what they do? You. Can you imagine? That'd be nuts. Anyway, meanwhile, Osha is hanging out with Kymir the Sith. Hanging out? Yeah, she follows him around. He takes his clothes off, shows her his Sarlacc pit. Oh my god. So now that he murdered all her friends and flashed her his space junk, she's kind of into what he has to say about the dark side. Okay. But then she puts on his cool helmet and gets a vision of where May is. Oh, she does? Yeah, because the season's almost over and I need them to reunite, so she just has a vision of where to go next. Nice. So all the characters end up on that witchy planet where this whole thing started. It's like poetry, it rhymes. It's like poetry, it rhymes, that's right. So there's gonna be a big showdown between Kymir and Sol, and then also between May and Osha. Very exciting. And then Osha's gonna find out that Sol killed their mom, so she wants to kill him. Well, it's gonna be tough for her to kill an experienced Jedi Master. Actually, it's gonna be super easy, barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, because now that she's angry, she can do dark side stuff, so she force chokes him to death. So he doesn't explain that her mom had turned into a scary smoke monster? No, because proper communication would get in the way of the story I'm trying to tell. Right, okay, keep going. So there's no Sol. Nope. And then also that guy died. What? So then what happens? Well, then Osha agrees to train with Kymir and let him show her the dark side.
Good joke. Good joke.
Oh god. Okay.
Oh, he flashes her again? No, like the dark side of the Force. Oh, okay. And then he wipes May's memory, which is a thing he can do. Why? So she can't remember. And then a green lady blames everything on Sol, and we're done. So what do you think? It's okay. I just feel like it's missing something. It is, isn't it? What key ingredient we missing here?
Sol.
Oh, I got it. You know what it is? We got to do that thing. You know that thing where we
cameo.
sprinkle in glimpses of established characters and selectively recycle content we own as if that were a way to sustain long-term engagement? Right, that's what it is. I'll toss a few cameos in at the end. Great, that'll keep the brand alive.
Right.
Hi, this is Ryan George from The Thing You Just Watched. Please enjoy this slideshow from The Thing You Just Watched.
Stupid. Chose like all the worst photos.
My friend was like sending me a bunch of thumbnails from Cinepals, and he's like, wow, whoever is doing this needs to be fired. Those are not flattering faces for you. And I'm like, people want to see the big faces. I don't know. That was a good,
Roast.
yeah, summary of the show.
It definitely, like, made it worse. I don't know. The show was already, like, not great. And then he said things, and I'm like, oh, no, yeah. It's just worse than I thought.
It's not the strongest Star Wars show out there, for sure. But the thing that he said when the writer was telling him all the stuff that happened, then he was like, that makes for a really great first episode, or like a really great intro to the show. And he's like, oh, no, we're just going to stretch it out over however many episodes. And it's like, yeah, that's right. If they'd have just, made it an exciting beginning and just truncated stuff, then we could have got way more story and it would have been way more interesting.
Well, they didn't have a lot to tell. That's the short of it.
So, I
That's
don't know.
the problem.
Turn
Like,
it into a mini-series.
well, what you mean is a mini series.
Yeah, like a mini.
Yeah.
Like a baby series. I don't know.
Because they didn't have much. And like, that's what my frustration was. He kind of perfectly articulated it. It's like, I kept complaining, like, why do they keep pushing this back? And people with, apologists or defenders in the comments were saying that, well, it's a mystery show. I'm like, but you have one mystery. Like this.
Right. A mystery show is supposed to be exciting. We're supposed to be trying to figure out the mystery at the same time. They're supposed to sprinkle in little clues along the way, and then you feel excited when you figure it out.
Yes.
Or it's supposed to come as a complete surprise. Whereas this, we're just like, oh, come on, just put me out of my misery.
They had one thing. It's like one door. Once you open that door, the mystery's gone. But it's like there was no clues, like a knife found here and then a blood shirt there and then this thing over here. It was just like, no, like there was this one night and that's it. And,
Or like misdirects or something.
well, they tried to misdirect. I will murder you. Like that was the one misdirect.
Sure,
And it turns out she did try to murder her. And it's okay. For some reason.
Kimir was hot. That was
I
cool.
think, everyone on the internet is saying that. And I'm like, okay.
And I thought his acting was really good as well, okay? I'm not just objectifying him because his body looked really good. Why did he have to be naked? That's fine, though.
There was some Instagram article I read about him. They were asking about his response to everyone like kind of fangirling over him and how great he looks and whatever. The question was, are you surprised? And he goes,
No.
a little. And I go, like, that just made it worse somehow. This thing that was nothing to me is even worse. When I saw the trailer to Thor: Love and Thunder, I can see Chris Hemsworth's body. I'm like, I understand the internet going crazy.
Are you
so
saying
what I'm
that
saying is,
Manny Jacinto's body
I didn't understand. Everyone seems to be in agreement about this, so I'm just gonna shut the fuck up.
Chris Hemsworth was big.
Yeah.
Like, he was stacked.
Yeah.
Manny Jacinto's body was, like, more tight.
I don't care.
Strong.
I'm just saying it meant nothing to me, and then went from meaning nothing to like, dang, you got an ego.
You haven't seen The Good Place. I've only seen one season.
No.
But he's in it. And he often plays these characters that are like, he's just fine. Like, he's just a hot guy. Not very smart. So it was fun to kind of see him play this like devious type of character and use his hotness for the dark side. I was going to say for good, but he's not.
Yeah, I was just
really.
confused when everyone was like losing their mind over it. It's like it was the same thing with Kylo Ren, that actor.
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver.
When he had his shirt off.
Well, people were losing their mind over him, and I'm like, really? And here's the irony. Both actors, people have said I look like.
That's why. Do you know why? I think there is some deep-seated self-hatred that's coming out here so that you can't appreciate their awesomeness.
Maybe.
Because you don't see it in yourself. So really,
That's what the Acolyte's all about.
The Acolyte is all about that. Can we write some nice comments about Jabby Koi so
please.
he can start feeling good about himself? And me saying that's probably just going to lead to people roasting you in the comments, so I'm sorry.
Y'all, thanks so much for hanging out. Deuces.